If you are a woman living her best hot mess express life while simultaneously crushing it, and you're craving more clarity, purpose, and excellence, get ready because you're in the right spot. I am your host, Chelsea DeBruin-Colbert, and I want to welcome you to Season 2 of All Things Excellence, the podcast, where I'll be bringing you all the inspiration and insights your excellence-seeking heart desires. This season, I'm stepping back into chasing big, bold, and absolutely terrifying goals, sharing every honest step and misstep along the way. We're continuing our beloved Unscripted series, featuring live clarity coaching sessions with guests just like you, and diving deep into raw behind-the-scenes stories of powerhouse women founders I am wildly obsessed with, whose journeys will fuel your own. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready to discover just how close you are to the life your soul is calling you to create. This is All Things Excellence. Hey, All Things Excellence fam. Today I am having my ride or die Ange join us. She is the founder of Unique Genius and the author of The Courageous Mind. And Unique Genius employs strategic partners that help you buy back your time. So what I want to do today, y'all, she's been on here before, so you can go back to one of the previous episodes. We'll link the previous episode in the show notes. So you could really get the full story of how Unique Genius came to be, everything that Ange built, just like a tiny little bio of her. Like back in the day, we've been friends for 15 years next month.
Oh.
Did you know that? Yeah. 15 years next month.
Facebook will remind me.
Yes, Facebook will remind you. So we've been friends for 15 years next month. Power partners just instantly from the beginning. Basically, when I met her, we were both having a successful career in direct sales, did things like earned paying Cadillacs together. But the first business you owned, you were a boss at selling Cutco knives. And then you owned a dance and gymnastics studio. And that's where you were when I met you.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
right?
Dance
Yep.
studio.
Yep. And then you became a top leader in direct sales, but also all along that time you were on a billion boards when I met you. Like you were always going somewhere to speak for leadership.
Yes, I was. I was on, that's a good way to put it. I was on a billion boards. I volunteered a lot, especially for high school and college leadership organizations. And so started speaking on those and then more on a national level. I forgot about that chapter.
Yeah.
And people were like, when did you start speaking? I was like, well, I guess it's because I volunteered for a billion boards.
Yes. I think that's really how that happened. I think you had some stuff in college that then you had a niece that was in, so you would go back and speak for some of that. But a lot of it was that you just were so involved with your dance and gymnastics studio with youth, and then you were speaking on a lot of things. Yeah, that's where, and now you speak all around the world on stages weekly.
I do. I'm in a stint. We were just talking before this. I'm in a little stint this week of traveling. I'm packing to leave for 18 days.
18 days.
You get 4 shows over the next, and then travel off to Spain to take my daughter to study abroad. But it's a fun chapter of speaking. I kind of revisited. We did a lot of speaking in direct sales, and then after I launched my book, getting to travel around and speak about that. And now I get to share and empower people to live fully in their unique genius.
Yeah. And I think one thing when I was thinking about where did you really learn to delegate everything and pay for convenience, right away when you were building the dance and gymnastics studio and you had the kids, you have 2 kids, they're adults now, but they weren't obviously always adults. You did not have this wild support. It's not like your spouse was at home helping you build this business, helping take care of the kids and running them all over. Like from day one, you've always had a lot of delegation.
And I think it's because I was like young with little kids. Young because 24 seems really young now.
Really young.
But especially since my kids are that age. But anyway,
can you imagine your kids?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Having little kids, maybe I should tell them that when they're trying to ask for help with things like this.
Yes.
So young, mid-20s, two babies, running a business, expanding that again, kind of traveling around the country, doing dance studio, traveling with our dance studio, coaching dance studio owners. And I just soon realized I could not do it all. Like it just was overwhelming. I say I was basically a single mom too. I was doing a lot of it unsupported. And so I just remember like kids crying, trying to choreograph a dance, trying to do books, like all these things at the same time. And I was like, I can either, and this wasn't me thinking, oh, I'm going to earn billions. And the more I work, the more I can scale this company. It was just a legitimate trade time for money. Like if I can work, I make this much more money. And when you're running your own business, you have control over that. The more time that you work, you're making money. And I was like, and then I can just pay somebody to do other stuff. So
The stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
started by paying someone to clean my house, but it soon became, I mean, I started delegating early. Like I had a lot of assistants.
That's
So
what I mean. You were like 24 to 26 years old, delegating the sun, the moon, the earth, and the stars.
Yeah,
Like
I had,
you've been operating only in your unique genius for half of your life or
I
more.
was, that
Yeah.
was a concept of like, I just started not doing things. I think I did read some books about it too, but like not doing things I didn't want to do. So anything
hmm
I didn't want to do. I had help with the kids so that I could do stuff that I like to do with them, but somebody could clean up after them. So I had like college age nannies that did everything with us, an assistant that ran errands for me, all before it was popular. And I remember like other moms looking at me like that's not the way it was supposed to be done. Um, and just because I did it all, I was always the one that brought cookies. I was always the one that could volunteer for the things. And it looked like I did it all, but not the way other people did it.
Yeah. And it wasn't, I always wondered, was there an influence where you saw it somewhere or a book you read, but it really was just kind of a thought process. But there was also a piece of it where you just didn't have a choice. It was like lay down and, be broke and barely be able to provide for my kids because you weren't single, but you kind of were. Like you were so unsupported, which you can read all about in her book, or figure it out.
Yeah. And it, like I said, it wasn't like I was trading time, like I'm going to build $1 billion thing. It just was
hmm
a very much exchange of when I work in a dance studio, I'm the owner
hmm
of this business. Like I can make a lot of money the more I can pour into this.
Yeah.
If I can work some Saturdays and do birthday parties, if I can take a trip and go coach another dance studio owner, that's like thousands of dollars. And I can pay somebody, for
hmm
$100. I can exchange this $100 of my time. But it was a very basic, what we teach people now,
Yeah.
pay somebody to do the $10 tasks and do things like you decide your paycheck. If you want to do things to make $1,000, do
Yes.
things that get paid $1,000 and pay somebody to do these.
hmm
It's just, I didn't read a book about it. It's just like the math in my head made
hmm
sense.
Yeah. So growing up in direct sales, I grew up around the concept of, you don't need to be cleaning your house. You can pay somebody else to clean your house. Like you need to have somebody in your office. You need to have somebody doing all of that. So I had the introductory level of it. But y'all, 15 years ago, when Ange walked into my life, we instantly became power partners on the phone, texting every single day, traveling, always staying together. This is like my earliest memory of going, like really thinking a new thought beyond, like I had an assistant in my home, I had somebody cleaning my house, but I remember so clearly, I think it was like summer 2012, our annual conference. We were staying at the Adolphus, and you and me and Susan, we were in that Adolphus hotel room. And I remember that we needed to get ready for the awards ceremony, but we also really needed to eat a good dinner. It was something like that. There was like some deal where it was like we need lunch and we need to get ready, but the time was really, really limited, but we also didn't want to eat junk. And we had a ton of snacks in our room, but like we needed actual substance. And I remember both of y'all looking at each other and being like, let's just order room service. Well, I thought room service was like this, just, I don't know, like Home Alone, Kevin Costner, or not Kevin, Kevin, whatever. Home Alone type of situation where you're at the plaza and you're ordering room service and it's just like this luxury thing. And in that moment, y'all made a comment about sometimes you just got to pay for convenience. And right now we need time and we need convenient and we need good food. And so let's just order room service. And it wasn't expensive at all. And I remember we all sat around on the floor eating our burgers, putting our makeup on. We weren't late. We were fed well. We ate nutrient food and we had all the time that we needed. We weren't rushed. And I remember thinking that day, well, this is a new concept. Like, you buy convenience and time. I like this.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember that too, because I remember what a shift it was for you. Um,
Yes.
you
And
know,
I like
it can be
exploded immensely in
a
life after
slippery
that.
slope, because we have so many things we can pay for convenience now, in DoorDash and, all the other things.
Yeah.
But I still do use all of those. And
Hmm.
I remember when I moved to North Carolina, JC's like, what the heck with your grocery delivery and DoorDash? And
Yes.
I'm like, if I don't have to leave, if I can keep working and just hit a button and something is delivered to me.
Okay, let's talk about that. So when y'all don't know that, okay, so it is August right now when we're recording this, and you just got married in December. And Thad, your son, and I were having a conversation because we were specifically talking about you and DoorDash. And we can talk about this now because it's an ex-girlfriend that he had. And he said, yeah, my girlfriend is who I knew. She was there. He's like, she's always wanting to do DoorDash, but not. She's always wanting to do DoorDash. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do DoorDash. We're not going to pay that. We don't need to be paying that money. He goes, and she says, well, your mom DoorDashes all the time. And he said, my mom is DoorDashing, not because she's being lazy and doesn't want to go get it. My mom is DoorDashing so she can keep working and doesn't have to refocus. It's a difference. It's a difference of like you're laying on the couch on a Saturday night and you want DoorDash and you're in your office and you're focused and you just need food and you're ordering DoorDash and it's coming or you're having your groceries delivered so then you're not.
Because that's a difference in exchange for money. Like at
Yes.
a point when you're in your 20s and maybe you should be the one door dashing for extra money. Um, and then, oh, we'll just DoorDash food and spend money on it. Exactly. That's
Yes.
completely different. Not planning. I
Yes.
mean, we most of the time meal prep, have healthy meals,
Hmm.
all of those things. But
You're a
yeah,
huge meal prepper. Huge.
I do not like to leave for groceries.
No. Yeah. You're a huge fan. Yeah, it's not like she's ordering DoorDash every day, guys. Like you're a huge meal prepper. I don't know, is it like Saturday or Sunday you have the groceries all delivered and you spend hours cooking meals out for the week?
Yes.
Yeah, and always having snacks provided because your husband has two teenage girls, so you guys have them 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you
So
have people that
we try and be organized, but
hmm
it does
hmm
the concept of convenience of order your grocery, order the things of like what can you do in your life where you're
yeah.
um,
Okay,
studying.
what are two or three things that I did not ask you this ahead of time. What are two or three things that you delegate out that you think are non-negotiables? Like if you could only, of all the things that you're delegating out, you could only delegate out two or three of these things where you're paying somebody else to do it, what would they be? Do you think grocery delivery?
Um, I'm going to do two business and two.
Okay, yeah.
Me
Oh, I
supporting
love
myself
that. Two business and two
on.
personal.
Okay, so to me, supporting myself on the front of personal, um, is huge so that I just don't have to be distracted. I don't have to be in the area of, and somebody said this and I like it better, not like how much of my life do I get to spend doing what I love, but how much of my life do I not do what sucks? Like, how many days do I get to wake up and look at my calendar and nothing on my calendar is something I don't want to do, or there's nothing that I don't want to do? Like
It's like
measuring
how
my
many
life
days am I not eating the crap
doing,
sandwich?
yeah, or doing things that I don't want. I hate doing dishes and doing laundry. And
Hmm.
I mean, I do delegate out. I don't consider my grocery delivery delegated. I don't know why, because I still like shop for it and push a button. Someone just actually brings it to me. But having a house manager And people think of it as like having somebody clean, but I mean like the dailies of dishes and laundry and having everything organized, put away,
Mm-hmm.
my house being not in chaos means that I can function on a completely different level.
You know,
Um,
since the wedding, that's like on my love list of life. Like, because what's her name?
Samantha, yeah,
Samantha. I thought it was, I'm like, Sam, Sammy, Samantha.
yeah, I
At
call
the
her.
wedding. Okay, so y'all were at the wedding, and Andrew's like, oh, yeah, the house manager is going to come and she's going to reset the house. So basically, for the wedding, y'all rented this beautiful house on the beach out in like north of Wilmington. And so you were saying the house manager is going to come and reset the house so it's ready for the wedding day for everybody to come for the wedding from the kind of more private party the night before. I thought I thought you meant like the Airbnb manager, like y'all were paying Airbnb to
Yeah,
have their person come in, and then she gets there and she's doing all the things, and then suddenly I realize it's y'all's personal house manager, Samantha, and I was like, I'm sorry, who are you? What do you do? What does that look like?
it's amazing. So yeah, she was able to do that. And
Yeah,
someday I'll have somebody that travels with me and resets my life, but
yeah.
completely more than cleaning. It
Mhm.
is, my
It's the
all
prep
of the
that makes you
drawers in the
crazy.
house. Yeah, so I don't have to clean for her. She comes, breakfast dishes are where they're at. She cleans, puts everything like dishes, puts the dishes away. The laundry is all put away. My drawers have never in my life been organized. My closet always organized. Like my house is just in complete.
And I think people think of this as like this is a thing only famous people have, which is just not true. You and JC just have, I mean, you both own businesses, but you
We have
work
a
hard,
pretty
play hard.
normal, but
But
yeah,
you're normal people. How
yeah.
many days a week does she come for how many hours?
It depends of 2 or 3, depending on how much we're
Mm.
home, because we
Yeah.
travel a lot.
Yeah.
And so when we travel, she comes less. She does have a consistent job so that when we're gone, she does deep cleaning and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
um, she's here for 4 to 5 hours, 2 to 3 times a week.
I love that. That's my dream. And it's we don't even have kids and but we have Chloe who's a lot.
And the other thing that she does that's awesome is Amazon returns. So that pays for it in itself because you forget to take Amazon return, and there's just a place in the house that returns go, and that way, like you get something on Amazon, you decide you're going to return it, it just goes in the Amazon return pile.
Because here's the thing, I know you well enough to know that you are always so busy on to the next thing, like working with the next client, booking the next speaking engagement, flying to the next speaking engagement. You would literally miss that Amazon window every time.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
Was
I'm the
that
person that
something?
likes to shop on Amazon and buy multiple things, like just
Yeah,
like
to try it and see which one you want.
clothes and shoes in it. And if you like them, you like them. If you don't, yeah. And this
Yeah.
enables me to be able to do that.
Okay. So personal, we could never live without Samantha.
Yes.
Yes.
And then professionally, my whole life in business is on executing and helping people with an executive assistant. We call them executive partner. Um, and just being able to, that is a lot of things that are great, like my inbox, my calendar, my
Hmm.
social media, not having to like bury myself in those things. But I would say really it's just the fact of like not having to hold all the plates up by yourself
Yeah,
and the feeling of knowing you don't have to do that. So,
absolutely.
um,
Mm,
all kinds of things that you can just, things come up and I'm just not in my to-do list myself. I have a
yeah.
buddy.
I feel like an additional bonus one because when you met JC and you guys got married, which you like kissed some frogs first, you know, which y'all, I didn't ever took them to Mexico. They're still alive and breathing, every single one of them. But when she met JC and I really met him for the first time, and then when they got married, I think I cried for like weeks straight because it was the first time in your life that I watched you have a partner in life to hold the plates for you so you didn't have to hold them all the time. And then the fact that you built a company centered around helping business owners have someone else to hold the plates for them because you knew what it was like to always be the person holding all the plates, I think is really fun. And it's probably part of, even if it's partially subconscious, like why you're so passionate about what you are passionate about,
Yeah.
helping people.
Because I didn't have a partner. So it
Hmm.
was just me. I didn't have a partner in life. And
Yeah.
now I have a piece of having an incredible husband who's a
Yeah.
partner who holds the plates up, emotionally and holds me and holds
Yeah.
different things. But
Make
also
sure you don't
why I,
leave your passport on a plane.
yeah, gosh darn it. I
She
know that.
recently left her passport on a plane and it was not the best. It wasn't the most fun experience. It all worked out, but there's a process. So it wasn't the most fun.
It was stressful.
It
And I
was a
think
little
because
bit.
he was not traveling with me and he takes care of me when we travel.
Yeah, he does,
Um,
which is why I love him. But that's, I think, saying professionally your best delegating thing that you do where you buy back your time is having your executive partner, which I will agree with that. People ask me constantly, tell me how to start a podcast. And I say, I have no effing clue. And they're like, what do you mean you have a podcast? I'm like, I log in and I hit record. I decide who I want on it because I'm obsessed with them. Like, I always feature women in business or services that I'm obsessed with. So I pick the people, but then I don't even talk to them. Like my assistant messages them, she sets everything up, like she sends all the emails, she creates the calendar invites. Like I just get on and I hit open the studio and I hit record and if Chloe comes in here freaking out, I might hit mark a clip, but other than that, like I don't know how to do a podcast.
I know. Me
Yeah.
either. And that's what I told you. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just show up when it says on my calendar and hit the link
Yeah.
and hit record.
Yeah.
And somehow it gets produced.
Somehow. And how that all, y'all, where I became really obsessed with Unique Genius and hiring an executive partner through Unique Genius was this podcast situation. It was a year ago. I was in Dallas at that same conference where I learned at the Adolphus how to buy back your time and pay for convenience. Your assistant, one of your assistants, sent me a whole list on all the things that I had to do to set up a podcast. And there's a lot of tiny little really important details that go into having a podcast. And I remember reading that list and coming home and sitting down with Kobe and showing Kobe the list. And I got through, there was like 15 to 18 things. And I got through like number 2 or 3. And I looked at Kobe and I said, I know myself. I'm never going to do this. I have to pay someone to do this because I'm not going to do this. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well. And another thing that I hate is social media. Like, the constant posting on social media makes me insane. And so this podcast, that could pay the same person to do that. Yeah, exactly. So
And
what?
that's so many ideas that people
Uh-huh,
have. The podcast,
uh-huh.
different ideas. I think like visionaries like you and
Yeah.
I, and like there's so many ideas you have. You have all these things that you love to do, but you can't imagine one either having the bandwidth to do them or just like that's not your personality to execute on multiple steps. And so it's one of my favorite things we help people do. Like all these, it's not like some big dream, make your dreams come true. Like
No.
I'm buying a jet plane or something, but like things that you want to do, little passion projects that are important to you or ideas you want to flesh out in your business or in your life. And you can do them because you have somebody running alongside you that can execute the details and you get to live in your genius. That's why it's unique genius. You get to live in your strengths, do what you want to do, and have somebody do the rest.
That's why. So I'm starting a book club, launching this book club, and it wasn't even the moment I knew that I was supposed to do it. It was an easy yes to the universe because I already have the support system to help execute it and maintain it. I just have to be the creative behind it. I know. Because I already have a unique genius strategic partner. Okay,
Yes.
so for people who are going, okay, I think there's a lot of things that I could delegate out that could make my life easier. I maybe you own a business or maybe you own a side business. I think what currently right now, what are the different businesses that y'all represent? Like what type of services and businesses are y'all representing currently? And I know there's a lot of them, they have multiple people. Like Dan has like 12 people. 12, he has like
Yeah.
12.
12. So we kind of help, I'd say I divide it into two big categories.
Hmm.
One is help business owners, business professionals, anybody with
Mm,
an executive assistant or executive partner.
okay.
And that is what we've kind of talked about. Somebody that like runs alongside you,
Hmm.
they are yours. They are a personal assistant as
Hmm.
well as a business assistant, like all meshed in one. They often do calendar management, email management, social media management, and then are your brain dump, like reschedule my dentist appointment, order my these,
Yeah.
um,
Which
do,
I love. I forget a lot. And Carline's like, you
do
need
like
to.
all of this, help you hold you accountable.
Hmm.
Um, manage your to-do list, make sure you don't have any, dropped plates, um, and then help you flesh out ideas too. Say you want to do a podcast or you have a little project that you want to do. So they help you personally and professionally. They're an executive partner that like runs alongside you. We help those clients do like a unique genius exercise. So it's like, how do you figure out what your unique genius is, what your strengths are, what you love to do, what gets you close to your mission and vision, and how do you take the rest of that off your plate? So that's one kind. And
Yeah. Because sometimes
that,
it can be weird. Like I'm a little weird with graphics, and I, not the ones like my podcast ones where literally change the title and number, but when it comes to creation of a graphic, like I love it. Like that graphic
yeah, yeah,
creation process is like part of my creative process. But then there's other things where I'm like, I don't ever want to look at that or touch that ever again. You just take care of it.
yeah. And you get to decide that. And sometimes, I mean, we have to help business owners with that. We have to help people learn how to delegate, learn how to let go, um, learn how to do that. But once you do, it's magic. And that is where the sweet zone of your life. If you're listening to this and you're like, I don't have enough stuff for an executive assistant. When you get to like do the 20% that you're supposed to be doing and get rid of the rest, that's where
Hmm.
you create the greatest impact, the greatest freedom in your life, have the most joy, all the
Hmm.
things. So
I'm I
that's
absolutely hired Carline from y'all before I had the tasks and the money to do it. Because I knew that you hire the person and then somehow magically all of these things that they need to do start coming up. You really quickly figure out a lot of things for them to do, and then you delegating all of that out almost overnight allows you to like increase your income. So you just have to swing big and go after it. Like I'd already experienced that in my life hiring an in-home assistant, so I knew that you make the investment and the leap and the commitment, and then it really really quickly follows.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is so exciting to watch and help business owners with that. And then the second type is roles in businesses. So that's more of it, you're a business, you have roles in your business, a lot admin, customer service, bookkeeping, things that don't have to be physically touched, and how can you get them done more efficiently and cost effectively by using a virtual team member.
Is this
Uh,
how why Dan has 12
yeah, so
unique
he
genius?
runs his bookkeeping business with um, people that are outsourced.
Yeah, from
Um,
Unique Genius.
and we help lots in the home service space,
Hmm.
in roofing, HVAC. Those are a lot of industries that we help in the admin, but it can be any industry that's looking for somebody to, fill that back end position.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and yeah, more cost effective, and really the work ethic in the US for people that do those types of jobs, they're just not
Hmm.
as in it. So
Uh-uh.
um, our team is. They're awesome and, driven for results.
Hmm.
And both groups, one thing that's really powerful is they get to be part of a mastermind of people doing the same thing. So, your executive assistant gets to be with other executive assistants,
Hmm.
learning AI, learning, communication skills so that they can, constantly be better for you.
So that's one of my favorite things is if you decide to hire a strategic partner or a virtual assistant or an executive assistant or someone that's like admin, bookkeeping, whatever however you want to frame it in your brain. If you decide to hire one of them from Unique Genius, one of my favorite things about being tied to Unique Genius is that then they have access to this huge group of other people that if we can't figure out the answer to something, they're connected to that group and they can go there for problem solving, education, just general critical thinking and figuring something out. Yeah, being creative. I mean, we had a silly thing like for my podcast, we could not, for season 2, we could not get the graphic to upload and to update the graphic. And so Caroline was able to reach out to the Unique Genius family and go, okay, who else has had experience with this? What happened? How did you go about it? And then now obviously it's all fixed and wonderful. But it was a sticking point for a second. But we weren't even worried because we knew that there was this group of other strategic partners within Unique Genius that probably experienced the same thing. So I personally love that. And y'all, if you didn't know this, if you didn't pick up on this, they are all located in the Philippines. And when I tell people this, the number one thing that people go is like, "Oh my gosh, do they speak English?" Okay, first of all, guys, this is how let's educate you a little bit on life. Caroline, my strategic partner who lives in the Philippines, like all of them from Unique Genius do, her daughter is Izzy and she is 6 years old. And Izzy's school had a festival last weekend. And I said, "Oh my gosh, send me pictures. I want to see." Their t-shirts for the festival were in English. Like even the words of the festival from the school on her t-shirt were in English. Like this is how, like, the Philippines were settled by Spanish and Americans. So English is, a lot of them, it's their first language. They go to English schools. Like Caroline was raised in an English school. She has her bachelor's from an English college. And so I always tell people like education here. They speak better English and probably more proper English than over 50% of America.
That's true.
That's true. And some of them have an accent and some of them don't. But
Yes.
their accent is no different than you live in Boston or you live in the South or you live in LA. Like we have a lot of California, LA people where we live, and Kobe loves to be like, "Oh, she's from LA." And I'm like, their LA accent is stronger than Caroline's Philippines accent.
Oh, that is true.
It is
And
very
some
true.
people do have a stronger accent, but if you're
Yeah.
people that are worried about that and want
Yeah.
somebody that has a more
Hmm.
neutral
Yeah. 'Cause
accent.
let's
I
talk
think
about,
that all the time when I talk to clients, I was just like, I don't know, they sound better than you.
they do. They speak clearer, more proper, educated English than a lot of Americans do. So let's talk about the process of getting matched. Like, let's say, so for me, I interviewed a couple different VAs and then I found the one that I was like, instantly I knew, energetically, like, yep, this is the one. What is that process like for getting matched? So let's say, somebody's like, I want them to be handling customer service calls because that's a thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
answering the phone.
literally, somebody could own a center. Let's say somebody owns a wellness center here and they're getting a lot of phone calls. And so extra phone calls could go to this strategic partner over in the Philippines. They could answer it. So it's like they want someone who has really great customer service skills, doesn't have an accent because they want them to. What is that like, the process of getting matched? What do people go through to do that?
Yeah, so usually first step is having a discovery call with me. That way I can figure out your personality, what your needs are, some things that you're not thinking about. Like, did you just want him to answer the phone? Do you want him to do social media too? Do you want him to do any bookkeeping? Kind of go through what are, a needs analysis, discovery of what it is a client is really looking for and if we're a good fit for that. And then we begin a search for the right candidate. We have a constant influx. We built up a great reputation. So we have a constant influx of people that are coming in, that are trained. So people in a pool ready to go. So we began deciding, who those perfect matches would be. We use a lot of science in assessing and getting people in, taking the emotion out of it, taking tests of people that have the capacity to be that right person in the right seat, whatever that role is. Somebody being an executive assistant is a different skill set and capacity than somebody that is answering the phone. Being that compassionate. So then we make all those and we recommend a match where you meet your match on Zoom. And to make sure that, like you said, it's a good energy match. We get a person that has the capacity to be the right person in the right seat, but we want to make sure that you feel like it's a great match for you as well.
Yeah. Because my demand list, I can say this about myself, my demand list was long and hard because I have been that person for so many people. Like I've been an executive assistant for a lot of people in different capacities. So it was like, I need them to know, I want her to be able to do all the managing of the calendar thing like an executive assistant, but I also needed her to have skills in Kajabi. I want to launch a podcast, so I needed her to know how to produce a podcast. Obviously, she knows how to be like not just like move something around on Canva, but execute Canva. So I created this list, and then Quinn was like, who do you also want them to be as a person? And I was like, I want them to be like me. Like, I want them to be fun because I want to have fun at the end of the day. Like, this is a person I'm spending 40 hours a week with, and I want them to have like a good, outgoing, fun personality where we're enjoying the work that we're doing. So, yeah. See, yes, not everybody is as crazy as I am, but I was like that, and y'all obviously executed that. But I do know that the process is thorough.
Yes,
It's a
of vetting and getting, and
hmm
it
hmm
is.
Yeah. And
This
on
is
their
what we
end, it's very thorough. Like
yes.
I know Caroline said, like, yeah, you go through quite the process to be able to be hired. So
On our end, it's quite, yeah, the process and then getting them ready and trained up
hmm
so that we're matching you with somebody that,
hmm
so it's kind of a twofold. One, interviewing you, making sure that we have what you're going to want. Then on their end, getting somebody that match is a lot of it, getting you that rock star that's a match for you. But then it doesn't stop there. Then you get an onboarding specialist with us. We're there to support you and help you. They're a part of the mastermind learning. You get support as well.
Yeah.
So it's
And I
not,
feel like we get a lot of ongoing support because that's like Quinn will reach out to
yeah,
me. Quinn's my client success person, right? Like
yes,
kind of like
for
my
client
liaison.
success manager.
And so they like Unique Genius will reach out to you consistent, not like crazy, but they'll consistently touch base with you every now and then just to go, how is it going? Is there any areas that you would like them to get extra training? So just so you guys know, you're wildly supported in that. That's a little bit of the process that they go through. We are going to put a link in the show notes so you can go down there, click the link, and right, I have a link. Yes, I
Yes,
have a
you have a
link.
link. You have a
I have
special.
a very specific link in the show notes that you all can grab that will
This
help.
is Chelsea special treatment.
It's very, yes. I have a special treatment link down below, so you can go click that and you can get started on the process. Even if you're just interested and you want to talk to Ange and go, this is where I'm at, this is my business, this is what I'm doing, or, this is a role in my business that I would like to delegate. Is this a possibility? She's a really great person to talk to. So, kind of wrapping it up. So, that's all that. Go to the show notes if you're interested, click the link. But I wanted to ask you, so thinking back to like 5 and 10 years ago, the amount of I know the amount of the amount of surrender. If you could see her face, if you're not watching the YouTube, did you think that surrendering to this level and working only like the level at which you are only working in your unique genius and loving life, did you think this was possible?
No. No. And I think like 5 years ago, 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
wow. I mean, I was in a completely different place at each of those.
I think about where you were 10 years ago most days.
And that was a mess. I just was living in somebody else's plan, somebody else's blueprint.
Yeah.
And I would say not taking a breath. 10 years ago, I got into a section of like living my life kind of on autopilot, living like
Survival
um,
with your kid.
survival. Yeah. And just living like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make money. This is what I have to do. Um,
Oof,
and it's
you
easy to
were.
get there, you guys. And this is me after seasons of winning, seasons of being successful and winning. But then, life happening and defeat and yes, relationship things or confidence.
Mhm.
Um, and it's easy just to get in like
Yeah.
a stuck because you don't see a way out.
Yeah. But there was
Um,
there was so much to survive from everyday life with two teenagers and like a toxic spouse, which again, you can read it about it in the book, guys. Like surviving every day was winning in that season. Yeah, that was winning. And then 5 years ago, it was 5-ish years ago when this wasn't quite birthed, but this is when it was Like it was
Yeah.
leading
So
up
the
to this.
company was started. People are like, how long ago was Unique Genius started? The company was
Yeah.
started now. Um,
Yeah. This is where the
but
ground was starting to be
this is
laid,
the
I feel like.
but it was not a thing,
Hmm.
not a successful
Hmm.
thing like it is now. And could I
Yeah.
have imagined? Um,
Yeah.
no,
No.
I wasn't at the place I imagined it could be that bit like this big, this impact this many lives, both in the Philippines and lives here. Um, but I had like started to to change the framework of like, okay, I can go out on the ledge again. And you
Yeah.
guys, that could be a whole funny other episode of Chelsea being like is starting this company. I have no idea. Like I just knew something stirred within me that was just like, I have to start over. And I
Because there
have
was a
to,
stint where you went to work for corporate. Like you needed
yeah.
safe, stable, secure to pay for you and your kids so you could get out of a really bad situation.
Yeah. So I went to work for somebody else and I just all of a sudden like
Hmm.
left
And
with
that was the first time in your life.
no protection, no one supporting me. I
You
was
ding dong.
single.
You came to Arizona. We went for a hike. And the next thing I know, you're calling me and you're like, quit my job. And I was like, oh, dear Jesus. What are we doing?
One kid in college, the other kid going to college. Like
Yeah.
my
But
kids
like
are
you knew
no
that you
way.
couldn't.
How are you going to pay for groceries?
Yes.
I'm
But
like,
you knew that you could not work for someone else one more day. Like you knew the time had come to like throw yourself off the ledge again.
yes, that it was time. And I always say, and this is true, you guys, no matter where you're at, like you don't build from nothing, you build from wisdom.
Mm.
Like the lessons that I had learned building my own businesses, coaching and helping other people build businesses, like I had all of that. I might not have had any money in the bank for this business or anything to start that with, but you start out with so much
Hmm. The
wisdom.
wisdom was there. Like
Yeah,
you, the
business
wisdom
wisdom.
and the experience was there.
But just not the framework or the idea. So yeah, it took a ton of
Or
surrender. You know?
like, it's not like you had $100,000 in your bank account and you were like, I'm going to start a business.
No,
No.
there was nothing.
Yeah.
So because I had just left with nothing, again, read the that's
Yeah.
like read the book. I
Read the book. Read the book.
and a lot of great things in business, just not a lot of things relationally that I decided to just like leave my whole life, everything I'd built, and start over again a couple times.
Mhm.
Um,
Which is why at your wedding, I cried. Like I couldn't stop crying. It was like the happiest day of my whole entire life for you. Because you had always been wildly successful at business. It was like the personal end of like choosing the partner that you're doing with life. Because our partner in life dictates more than I think people realize.
oh, so much, so much. It is that someone wrote the co-founder of your life, and
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
it's
I
true.
read that this weekend.
And now we do a lot together. We do a lot. It's not just a partner that is like
No,
that might be easy if it was just like a husband you came home, but
no.
not. We do, all of our businesses and life and all the things that we do and
Are
get to
together.
create together. So,
Which is your dream? And so I also, here's like a really random plug for anyone out there that is single and wanting this best friend, business partner in life. That was, I feel like, of all the deepest desires in your heart. Of course, you want your kids to be healthy and be great and be wonderful. And of course, you wanted to build something meaningful. But I feel like as your friend, like the strongest song of your soul. So there's this quote that says, how does that go? Like something about like the greatest friend knows your song and sings it back to you when you've forgotten
yes,
the words.
yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
That there we go, right? Like I can spit it out if I'm. And so always felt like while there's a lot of songs, right, about your kids and about the world and changing the world, I think like the deepest soul song for you was that you wanted someone who was literally a partner at life, where y'all
Mhm.
did life together and built a beautiful life and built a beautiful business together, which
Did I had that? I never knew what it looked like or to the
Mhm.
depth of this, but I
Yeah.
had this like, yeah, itching or aching on my heart for that before I even knew it. I mean, I think
Mhm.
you saw that that's what I wanted.
Yeah. 'Cause,
Um,
like you dated other people who were wildly successful and they wanted you to be like an appendage of them or behind the scenes or whatever. They wanted all of the support and the things that you bring, but they didn't want to share the stage.
yeah. And like I said, it's almost like I didn't
Mhm.
consciously know
Yeah.
that that's what I wanted because I'd done so much of life just on my own.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
thought I loved being independent
Hmm.
and just kind of designing my own life and
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just designing my own life. But it's beyond rewarding to get to do it all with someone, not just life, but like design everything and do business and share a stage and build a business.
Do you think part of surrendering your life to having all of the right executive assistants in the right place, part of that surrender then set you up to surrender in life and like meet the greatest husband in the world for you? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I'm because I had the platform of this and people taking care of things. And I also, as you know, did a lot of work on myself
A
to
lot
be
of
able
healing work.
to like let go and not and when you say surrender, yes, just like be open instead of like I so much was like banging into existence my
Hmm.
plan. So
Hmm.
like my plan and what I thought someone should look like that I dated too, I guess, and
Yeah.
my plan of what I thought it should look like of everything. And so doing a lot of work to just like take a step back, be open, yes,
And like
surrender.
receive. Yeah.
And even though it was like JC and I met and we were inseparable from the time we met and we've always had so much fun and it's an amazing life. It
Hmm.
was hard for me to surrender and I think still is like that control that like
That was
this
part of you moving, I think, too, 2 years
independent
ago.
person that made all the decisions and designed my life on my own. Because even though I was in toxic relationships that took away a lot of my control of a lot of things, being on your own and not relying on somebody meant that you were in control of other things. It is a weird kind of control, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
what I thought I controlled, but being partners with somebody means that you have to do surrender and like
Yeah.
let go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was so about 2 years and 3 weeks ago, you were at my house for a week and that's when you were considering like surrendering and moving across the country and just really going obviously next level with him. And I like now you saying that I look back and I'm like, oh, I bet that was so much of that. And I remember I saying like, you don't have to move across the country for a guy. You can like move across the country because you want to just change your life and you might keep dating him and you might not, and that's okay.
Yeah,
But
I
I guess
remember
that,
you saying that. Like, it's
yeah, I guess that
okay.
would be
Just
part of
move
that.
and just leave and just,
Get
yeah.
out of Dodge. Off Dodge Street, literally.
And that was a whole, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, that moving and
it was
giving up,
amazing.
um, was a surrender to, but a thing I needed, and I don't, it's so weird because it's just like, it was this just rapid state of growth. Like I never would have grown the business if I
No,
wouldn't have done that, of like moved from everything. Because now I take a look back and I was like, I moved and my life not only was completely different because I have this new partner, but in Omaha, I went to I was stuck in the pattern of what I
everyone knew you everywhere
like,
you went.
yeah, I had all of these obligations, all of these friends, all of these business commitments, networking, whatever. And so it was just like my life was full.
Hmm.
And I didn't have the capacity to like shut down and work. And when I came here, it was like there was only JC and the girls, and like the rest of the time I could work
Yeah,
because I like
yeah.
left everything else. It made a capacity to build the business. And I think that was, just a lot of alignment and surrender that happened because I certainly wasn't just like, I think I'm going to give up everything in my life so I can build the business. Um,
No, not at all. Like it
but
was
at times you need to
definitely,
do that. Now that I'm like reading books because I want to take my life to the next level, it's like, okay, without moving across the country again, leaving things. Now it needs to be a more conscious decision of like,
Hmm.
what all has entered my life that I now need to shed if I'm going to take my life to the next level.
I talk a lot on here about seasons when, because I've moved multiple times, which is so great. I'm trying to get Kobe to, he won't do it. He's like, we're not moving. I'm like, right, right, right. How do I do this without moving every 6 years? Uh, where it's like you have to mentally pull everything off the table, even the things that are working, and look and ask yourself what earns a seat back
Yeah.
without moving across the country, which, just saying, guys, if you're thinking about it, is wildly effective.
It is wildly effective.
It is. I'm just saying, next time if we're doing that, let's not, we're on opposing coasts right now.
Yes, let's not do that.
Let's
Let's
not
not.
do that. Let's not do that. I was recently in Charlotte and I'm like, could I love Charlotte? Could I like being in this area of the country? I'd be so much closer. Okay, so in closing, we always want to give a permission to women. So the permission is, what permission would you give to the woman who's holding back, saying, it's no big deal. I've got it. I can do all the things. Or they're in that, financially, I'm not there yet. Or I don't have enough tasks, but like someday I could see myself doing that. What permission would you give to that woman who just needs to say yes to bringing a strategic partner in their life?
Yeah. So, and
Not a spouse, guys, like a unique genius.
to get some sort of help, whether that for you is a person at home, whether it's a strategic partner with us, or whether it is help of some other kind. And regardless of what it is, I want to give you, like, I would love to visit with you and help you make a roadmap for that. Permission to know that busy doesn't, busy and like being a superwoman, busy doesn't make you superwoman. When I say superwoman isn't a badge of honor, superwoman is the badge of honor, but being busy and doing it all just because you can isn't a superpower anymore. That's not a badge of honor.
I love,
And
busy is not a badge of honor.
and so I think we were taught that for so many years. Like, I can't
Yes,
do
we
it
were.
all. I can make the perfect cake, make my birthday cake, and make the cookies, and make the bed, and read a bedtime story, and you just get so. And I find myself caught up in it, right?
Mhm.
Yesterday, like making JC's birthday and making that all perfect, and I love to cook and make it all perfect. I love to do all that. But like, you can get caught up in things, and then it takes all of you.
Mhm.
And you only have so much energy. You maybe can fit it in all the time, but you only have so much energy. And save that energy for the things that really matter in your life and that you love. And if you just give yourself permission to get those things off your plate that are sucking the life out of you and the
Mhm.
energy, your cup is going to be so much more full to be so much more impactful, whatever that means to you.
Yeah. Busy is not a badge of honor. In the words of Taylor Swift, guys, treat your energy like it's luxury. She said that. Oh, she said that last week on her boyfriend's podcast. And yeah, she was like,
To
treat,
watch this. I keep
you
seeing
gotta
it
watch
all
it.
over social media, like
Yep. You gotta watch it, guys.
her
Go
on
to
the
Great
podcast.
Heights.
I'm
Go
like,
to
I
Great Heights. Yeah, she talked about like treating. So it really actually was a little bit expanded because it's like treat your energy like it is a luxury item, and you need to only share it with people who have the capital to earn the right to have it. And I was like, hot damn. There you go. Yes, ma'am. Because our energy isn't for everyone. We can't just be frivolously spending our luxurious energy. And the more that we invest back in our energy by not only doing the passive growth, right, by reading the books and listening to the podcast, but then there's the active growth where we've hired the coaches and we've worked with the therapists and the people to do the healing to grow. And that everything that you're doing with that is raising the value of your energy. Absolutely. More luxurious every day. All right. Well, y'all, again, drop on down to the show notes, a special little Chelsea UG link so you can book a conversation with Ange and see what it would be like. And even if you're like, I just feel like a nudge, I feel this nudge, like I'm supposed to have one, but I don't even know what they would do, book a call with Ange because if anyone can help you figure it out, it's her. It was a year ago that Ange and JC were here and we went out to Mexican. We went to, oh my gosh, we went to whatever Bee Queen, Barrio Queen. We went to Barrio Queen, the four of us, you two and Kobe. And in that afternoon adventure of whatever that's called, appetizers, when, my gosh, when you're at a restaurant and they're like discounted appetizers, well, happy hour over an afternoon happy hour from 2 to 5 where we owned an entire booth for ourselves. It was in that moment where the two of them helped me realize all the places that I really could have a strategic partner from Unique Genius. And Kobe was beyond convinced. And that's also where I learned that I needed to be open to using AI. I did not know before then. And now here we go. I'm up in ChatGPT every day of my life. But thank you so much for jumping on here and helping people blow up their lives and awesomeness, helping them only live in their unique genius. Thanks for being my friend.
Oh, thanks for being my friend, and thanks for having me.
Singing my song
It's
back.
great to be in your energy.
Yeah. Y'all, we're not going to sing your song back to you. You should find your own person, but you should find someone that sings your song back to you. So, all right, All Things Excellence fam, thank you for jumping on and listening today. And again, delegate something, consider Unique Genius. It's a great place to get started. And talk to you next time. Thanks for listening to All Things Excellence. If something landed with you today, I'd love for you to follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave a quick review. It helps more women find these transformational conversations. And if you're ready for support with your next step, or needing someone to stand in the gap with you to figure out what that even is, I'd love to create that space for you, and my intro clarity call is a great place to start because life is too quick and too full to have to figure it out alone. Until next time, All Things Excellence fam, thank you for listening.